This has been a very difficult week for me. A roller coaster of emotions, things that didn't go as planned, a need of adaptation, change, and acceptance. So I wanted to do a video today to tell you how I deal with anger and frustration. Why happened? As many times in life, things don't go as you plan or as you want. You can't control everything. You can't change. You just need to observe, adapt, and simply accept. That's not easy, especially in moments where you feel lack of energy, lack of motivation, when you simply feel that sometimes you can't do it. And I am a motivated person. I have a lot of energy in general. But this is a difficult time. I have a little one, a very little one at home, who is now sleeping, but is in a very cranky phase. Actually, we have like early stages of terrible tooth, I guess, or a lot of tantrums going on and a lot of autonomy and independence and many, let's say, annoying moments. And it's frustrating because sometimes you don't know what to do. Well, I kind of know, but let's say it's not that easy sometimes to handle that. And sometimes I cannot work in the way I want. I don't have that much time to work. And as you know, my countdown is ticking and I have many things to do and many expectations and all of that. So sometimes I feel angry, I feel frustrated. And on top of that, I have to deal with the consequences of my decision of being in a phase of planning, of structuring, of creating a project, which means that I haven't been able to dedicate enough time to my actual business, which is consultancy. And I have had to tell clients that I can't work with them. And so, of course, as an entrepreneur, if you don't work, you don't get money. But still, you have to pay the bills. So it is a difficult time because I do have to pay my bills. I set up a life where I pay for what I consume, I do. And sometimes, because of my decisions, I am not able to provide for the things that I want. And it's frustrating, especially because I am used to earning my own money since very early years in my life. And that's what I wanted to be. However, I'm a mom of 2 little kids. And I decided to be a present mom and enjoying as much time as I want. And for that, I created a strategy, a plan that takes time, that, is not as quick and, let's say, immediate with regards to the results that I expect, financial results. So it is frustrating. I wish I had more time to work sometimes. I wish I could work with better income that right now have, because I'm working less than 10 hours per week. Actually, it's summer, and those 10 hours that I have per week, I dedicate most of the time with my kids because I want to. And of those hours, I am dedicated my time to the Mompreneur Society. It's a project that right now is my pure passion and is where my heart drives me to go. So it is a conscious decision. It's where I am at the moment. But sometimes it's difficult, not the actual decision, because I actually did it quite, easily. It's when things don't go as planned with regards to dealing, for instance, with governmental or institutional decisions that don't see you as a human being, but rather as a form or as a process that didn't achieve whatever, and then they don't give you funding, for example. Or an insurance company that makes a mistake and then you have to pay something that they want and they don't hear your problem because for them, they have their easy salary and it's just a bureaucratic form. For them, it's a form. For us, it's our lives. So sometimes it's difficult to deal with that. It's difficult to deal with institutions that don't see you as a human being and with the way they communicate their decisions in a very insensitive and sometimes completely out of touch way. So if you have been like that, you are not alone. I deal with that many often actually here, and it's not easy. Yeah, and I have been doing that since I created my company. I don't like the way that sometimes institutions deal with us as entrepreneurs and the way they treat us, the way they decide, and then without further information they just make things. So we are just too small in that kind of system to be able to make a change with regards to the way they they talk to us and they see us. And what can we do? I don't know if it's up to us to change that or to at least say it. I felt the need to say it today. Sometimes the institutional responses here are quite tough and are quite, let's say, lack of any kind of human touch and sensitivity. But what can we do? It's a great system. We all love it, and it has some benefits, it has some cons, and not always shows us the more flexible and human side. And that's life, you know. What can we do? We can't control that, at least not now. So I just wanted to say that it's been difficult. I've been dealing with a lot of negative emotions, especially anger and frustration. But the message today is those emotions don't define me only. That's part of me. That's part of my identity. I accept them. But I take them in a way that now is something kind of necessary for me to go through, so I really understand the pain and I really understand the problem in a deeper way. And it actually comes with an irony, because in last reflection, my previous video, I talked about validation and I talked about not taking things personal, which is honestly, in the beginning, I felt like, oh my God, what I'm doing, I'm completely contradictory. This is an irony. Why did I say it? Like, the same day I got this decision, the very next day I got into an absolutely devastating meeting in which they just said very difficult things to hear. Like, it was difficult to hear. It was difficult to be there in that meeting, to feel exposed, to feel attacked, to feel misunderstood, unseen, misheard, everything. I felt it. It was horrible. And I felt a bit paradoxical, because on the very same day that I published that video about don't take it personally, I was taking it personally. I was angry. I was frustrated. I was absolutely devastated about that. And I was like, how can they say that to me? How can this happen? So after days of reflection and talking with many people about this, I felt the need to tell you this second part of the reflection, because that's who we are, and we do take things personally because we are human beings, we are people. We need to take things personally too. So it is important not to do it all the time, but if you do it, I think it's also important to let it be and accept it, and it's just the way you are. Right? But further than that, my reflection today goes to identity, actually. I don't think that the struggle defines me. I don't want it to define me. But the way that I am overcoming the struggle, perhaps it is more the right way that I want to feel. In other words, yeah, I struggle, but the strategy that I have, the vision that I have, the plan that I have that is following completely the voice of my heart for many years is telling me the answer. So that defines me, the process, not the struggle. The struggle is something that is kind of contemplated in the strategy. I will have struggles. I have had struggles, many. But each time that I overcome one of them makes me stronger, makes me better, makes me feel better with myself. So in a way, by doing something difficult or by overcoming something difficult, I feel better with myself. And in the end, it doesn't have to be always pretty, always nicer, otherwise you won't learn. And in a way, if you realize how much you have overcome over the past years, when you look back and you say, wow, I've done this, and actually that was really hard, you feel better and you feel, well, okay, maybe it's not exactly as you planned, maybe it doesn't work 100% as envisioned, but that vision that you had from the very beginning was the main driver that pushed you to overcome that, and that is a nice feeling. So today I really wanted to give you that reflection. I am not in the most positive, radiant mood today. Actually, I have more makeup today because there's a lot of dark circles to cover, so thank you, concealer. I just wanted to tell you a little bit more of human side of entrepreneurship that sometimes we don't talk about. Sometimes we just hide under the carpet, and I am learning to talk about it. It's not that I didn't struggle with that before. It's that now I am, for some reason, trying to open up with you, because whenever I say those things, people connect with me more. And instead of seeing disapproval, I actually feel better because other people sum up and tell me, yeah, I have felt the same. And actually, it's nice to hear it from you. So actually, I have heard that this week because I've told what happened to many people, and I have felt a lot of solidarity, a lot of compassion, and a lot of understanding, and I think that's all I needed. So today's video was simply that, to tell you that no matter how hard it looks and no matter how big the struggle is, we all face difficulties, but that doesn't define us. I think is more the way you overcome them and the process actually to get there, wherever you get. I don't know exactly. I think that's the fun part, and at least for me, I feel more at peace. And yeah, I won't tell you that I will feel completely energetic or happy today. No, I am not like that today, but I feel okay, and I feel more human, I feel more open, and I feel consistent to what I believe, and that's what it drives me. And I love the project. The Mompreneur Society is something pure from the heart, so it will be fine, and we will all be. It's okay. I would love to hear your comments about this. If you feel some of that, let me know. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching, for sharing, for liking. Please subscribe if you haven't. So see you next time. Keep being inspired.